Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Shambam Podcast, SBP episode 107, I believe. I'm never sure every time I announce the beginning of what number it is. Is it 107? I believe we're in 107. I'm going to stick to 107. It's going to eat at me, so I got to check it out now. I got to find it now. It is 107. All right. So, yeah, welcome back to 107. Another Monday, another week ahead of us, another work week. Got to keep things exciting, do something else. Do something different out of the routine during the week to kind of throw it off a little bit so it doesn't become such a cycle, it gets all boring. I got some good input on my last week's episode. And yeah, I think I'm going to try to structure the podcast a little bit so it's a little more predictable. I kind of want to it's nothing big. It's nothing big. I'm going to have some nice conversation about whatever. And then it's going to just kind of piggyback, like play what do they call that? I forgot what they call it. Hopscotch? Not hopscotch. Basically, every other episode is going to be talk about like either hobbies or like music and like career / that kind of focus stuff. And then some episodes are going to be just chill out and talk. This is going to be the first installation of that formally, because that's happened so many times, but it was never formally that. Today we're just going to chill out and talk about just random stuff. Maybe I'll give the episode a title so you can identify which ones are going to be more chill. Chillax, bruh. Chillin' thoughts. CT. I don't know, maybe. I'll just call them CTs just so you can identify what they are. Yeah, this week I'm not going to talk so much about music. The only thing I will say is that I did say I was going to have the song ready by today, which it's not. And I figured that was a pretty ambitious thing to say right off the bat in the beginning, because it's making music is it's a process, man. And when you're the artist, you want to keep editing till there's notes, till to the bitter, like you want to edit it until it just sounds like one frequency. Like that's just how much editing a producer can make, and never find that sweet spot. But I did get a lot of work done. I was thinking to myself, if anything, it's gonna push me to do a lot of work, and I did a lot of work, and we're getting there. That's all I can say is we're getting there. There's 2 songs. What'd I say? Said I wasn't gonna talk about this right now. But just there's 2 songs, and I might bounce to the other one just to get my mind out of this one, and then kind of work on them both together. That's gonna be into that conversation. Went boating yesterday. We go boating so often now, though. We go boating yesterday was the first time in a while that we took like a long time without, because our friend who owns the boat, he was doing, he just was out of town and stuff and taking other people out. So we actually hadn't gone in a good while, and we went back yesterday. It was a lot of fun. We'd mainly do a lot of wake surfing, and I remember in the beginning, it was pretty early on after I actually caught on to wake surfing, actually catching the wake and not falling off, that I space out on the camera because I'm still like calibrating, I'm trying this new thing. So I plugged in, the camera has a little battery adapter that I got, so I don't have to worry about the battery dying all the time or like forgetting to charge it and stuff. So I bought this little battery adapter that basically hooks up to your camera, and then you like plug it into the wall or whatever. But this one has like a USB. I had been plugging it into an outlet, but on an extension cord. It was really cluttered, and I noticed it has a USB that goes into the little box that plugs into the outlet. So then I plugged in the USB and the camera directly to the computer. So the computer's powering the camera right now, but it was showing that it was like dying, like it had like no battery essentially. So then I was like, oh no, this might not work, or it might like run out of juice or whatever, or charge, it might not feed it enough, and then it might power off eventually. So I have to keep looking, because there's a little light that blinks when it's recording, so I have to keep looking and make sure. It's very faint too, so I have to really stare. So just know that if I'm looking and I'm not staring into your eyes. I'm not trying to get a picture of who you are. I'm just trying to see the camera's still recording. But I digress. Actually, can we digress in this section of the pod? No, we can't. It's chilling thoughts, man. Chilly thoughts. Chilly thoughts. I like that. But yeah, I feel like wake surfing gets so routine, though. Like if you do anything very often, it just becomes more routine. Not saying that we don't, like, I don't have fun, because it's always a lot of fun to go, but like I kind of like it just kind of becomes routine. The more often you do something, you just get used to it, so I like going wake surfing, but I also would be okay without, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. Because sometimes it's just boring, just because we do it so often. So just got to give it that space, that time. Beginning of the season's always fun because there's been a whole season, a whole period of time that we didn't actually go, that we wouldn't actually go. So then we were just, that we were ready for it, right? So by the time that we were ready to go, we're already all hyped, and it's a blast. But when you just do it like very often, it's just not enjoyable. Or not as enjoyable as it should be, I guess I should say. Dude, there's this spider web that's like on the acoustic foam, and it's been on here. Wow, there's a lot. It's just the angle of this light that really reveals it, because this light's usually not here. It's only on when I do the pod. And it was on. The spider web was there the last time, but I never did anything about it. And then I'm looking at it now again, and I'm like, shoot, I gotta get rid of that. But anyway, routine stuff, man. It's like what I said in the beginning of the podcast. You gotta do something to break the cycle of the work week. Just make it interesting. There was a good period of time that I was actually, like, after work, I would just go to a random store. Especially when I was I was working on restoring the Game Boy Advance SP. I talked about that in previous episode. If I haven't, let me know. But when I was restoring that bad boy, I was like, scouting out parts, scouting out places that would have broken systems, games, old games. Dove into, because I didn't know anything about the world, right? And then I dove into it further, and I found out about the whole repro fiasco that's happening. And just breaking the cycle of the work week, So like I would usually just wake up, go to work, come home, play video games, maybe try to attempt to work on something productive, and then go to bed. And then the cycle continues up into the weekend. The weekend, I tried to have fun as much as I could, which made it a job in itself. And then, why am I always so burpy? When the podcast starts, I start burping. We did just come back from dinner, so I have that excuse for this one. But I'm always burping in the freaking pod, like in the middle of something, talking about something, and then I just belch. Like, why? Anyway, man, I was in that cycle. I was breaking it off when I was doing all that other stuff, going here and there. It made the days seem longer in a good way, like it was not a routine thing. and you got some stuff done. You lived. You were alive. You were alive that day. But yeah, and going back talking about the repro stuff, man, getting into retro gaming right now is expensive, my God. Well, I can't really say about any of the other consoles. I'm sure it's about the same problem, but like as far as like Game Boy Advance goes, like it's been crazy. I thought in the beginning that I could find a game really cheap, right? Like an old Game Boy Advance game because they don't, they're old and blah blah. People don't really play them or whatever. So I thought I could find it pretty cheap. I looked it up on eBay and stuff, and I found some for like $15. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally cool. I can just build my Game Boy Advance SP and I'll be chilling. I'll be all buying all the games I remember playing, and then I found out later that those are all repro games, right? And if you're not familiar with a repro, what that is, a repro is basically stands for reproduction of a game, right? A reproduction. So the whole logic behind it was that since they didn't make these games anymore, and the old ones are really hard to find because they're either broken or just people keep them, or bad condition, whatever the case may be. People would manufacture the reproduction copy so people can enjoy the game, enjoy the experience. Which is cool. Like that's awesome. There's no beef. There's no harm with that. The one thing that sucks about repros though is that a lot of them are faulty and they won't save. That's the whole thing. Is like the data won't save into those games. So essentially you can't really do anything with it because you either play the whole time, keep your Game Boy charged and never turn it off, and then progress that way, or you just keep repeating the same beginning cycle every time you boot up the game. So that sucks, but the games are cheap enough, where it was easier to take the risk, obviously the way you would do it is you would actually go to like a flea market or some place where you can physically pick it up and then test it out right then and make sure that your game is fine. Because if you do it online, the what do they call it? Just the chances are much, much higher for you to get it done. So, yeah, so I got, but yeah, those are like $15, right? Cool. The real mistake, the real foul, if you will, that happens here is that a lot of online sellers, they will sell reproductions pretending that disguised as real ones, authentics, right? So authentics, man. So like take this. I was wanting to buy Pokemon Leaf Green. That was one of the games I really wanted to get authentic. I wanted because I just like collecting it and just knowing that I have an authentic copy and you know what I'm saying? Like that just felt really good. So I really wanted to get that. So expensive. It was like up $70 to $80 to get it. Through eBay. And it was even crazier though too because a lot of these aren't even up for just for like buy now. They're all on bids. So like there's all these people watching it, and I tried to bid I think for like 3 of them, and every time it's that last minute that people start bidding to the moon, and yeah, they would just go way too high for me, and then I wouldn't end up getting it. So but yeah, they would go up to like $70, $80 sometimes, and it's crazy to get these old games, and you're not even sure, if this. I mean, generally on eBay you can see if the seller has good reviews, so there's that kind of confidence going there. But still, it's online. You never know. We found one at a flea market in where were we? San Jose, I believe. The flea market was awesome too, but there's one shop, really cool shop. The gentleman was really nice. I asked him, I found authentic copies that he was selling in the back. They were priced up pretty good. They were like $100 or 100 and something, but it had the box and it was authentic, right? So then I was like, yo, this might be worth it. If I'm here physically, I can see the product and everything. And I asked him, I was like, "Yo, like how much you sell that? Are you gonna sell that for?" And he didn't want to sell it to me, and I was like, "Yo, what?" And he had a thicker accent. Um, he had an accent in both senses, right? So the way he said things, like his English had an accent, right? And also his phraseology, the way he put his sentences together, wasn't always correct. So it was really difficult to understand what he was trying to say. I was like, "Wait, what? What are you saying? What are you really talking about here?" And I forgot, what did he say? I think what I gathered was that. What did I say? What did he say? He gave me a reason why he didn't sell it to anybody. Oh, I think it's because he was saying he was basically saying like he didn't want me if I just wanted to play the game because he had a repro there, which I ended up buying. He said he didn't if you just he was trying to explain to me. I guess he just didn't want to cheat out his customers. So he was saying if you want to play the game and that's all, buy the repro. Like the repro is like 15, $20. I think he sold it to me for like $20 or something. It's like the repro is like $20. That one is like $100, and it's gonna you can play the same game, but it's just the authentic copy. So that's he's saying that's for collecting. If you're collecting, go. But he wasn't sure why I wanted to buy it, so he was just trying to clarify, you know. And then I told him like, no, I do want it. But then I got to thinking, I was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe it's a big purchase. So then I ended up buying the repro. And then he wanted me to test it out there. Really good business. This guy was legit. I tested it out the game right then and there, and everything was cool. So it saves, and I have that one now, and I play that one, so that's cool. I do have one authentic game. Actually, I have 3, but one of them was like an actual on purpose. So the first authentic I got was the Spyro game. It's like I forgot which one. I think there's a couple Spyro Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, I should say, and I have that one because it came with the system when I bought it. It's got no tag or anything. It's like ripped out, so you can't even see the stamp on it. Because authentics, the way you tell that it's an authentic is it has this little indented number is a cherry on top to make sure it's an authentic copy. So I have that. I have Namco Museum, which is fun. You know, it's nostalgic. It's got like old arcade games and stuff. And then I have the one that I purposely got. I got this one on eBay, and I was so nervous when I bought it because I wasn't sure if it was a repro or not. Was Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, and I almost beat that one. I'm close to the end, but I kind of like paused from playing that for now. I love that game, man. I grew up on Fire Emblem games. Me and my cousin Edwin. Why did I say his name? It's all right. He won't get any messages. Me and my cousin, we played the heck out of that game. Like, he had a Game Boy Advance, I didn't, and he had one of the Fire Emblems. I believe it was just like the first one that just said Fire Emblem. And we would take turns like all day. I had a save file, he had a save. There was only like 3 save options in that game. And I had one, he had another, and yeah, we just played tag. And then he got Sacred Stones later, and I really loved that game, but I didn't get to play a lot of that before we moved out of TJ. But yeah, so that game sat close to my heart. I wanted my own copy of Sacred Stone, so then I was like, that's the one I'm gonna go for, because I had already beat the first one, so I was like, I'm gonna get a brand new experience and some nostalgia with Sacred Stones. So I found it. It was up for bid. I forgot how much I paid for it, but it was lower than what it usually went for, so that's why I ended up, going forward with it. But I remember when I was making my bids, I was really reluctant because I saw the pictures and I was like looking for all the signs of it being a repro, right? I was making sure it's authentic on the pictures that they had up there. Their pictures weren't that great, but I could like see that I could see the number, right? Like I could tell that the number was stamped on there that confirmed it as authentic, but I wasn't completely sure. But I went for it anyway. And then once I purchased it, I kind of like the regret started coming up. Like, shoot, I should have confirmed more before I, actually bid and all this stuff. So I remember messaging them through eBay, Messenger, whatever, like asking for more pictures, different angles. Can you shine a light so I can see it? Blah blah. And they were really bad at responding to me. They were terrible at responding to me. Whoever the seller was, any question I had, did not respond. I think I asked like 4 questions. They answered like 1 or 2. And yeah, they didn't respond. And then their flakiness on responding kind of confirmed it in my head. Like, yeah, this is a fake. And I just fell for it, But the game got here, and it was authentic. And I was so relieved that it was authentic. But then I was not out of the woods yet, because I was like, does it even work, right? Because then, yeah, you can get an authentic game, but it can still be broken. You don't know, right? So then I got my Game Boy, I put it in, and sure enough, Game Boy turns on, and it stays on the Game Boy screen when you turn it on. That means that the game isn't working, or it's not reading it. And I was like, crap, it's not working. And but then I wasn't ready to give up, so I built my Game Boy, and I got a lot of like stuff, that's required to build the Game Boy. One of those items was 99.9% isopropyl alcohol, which, by the way, this applies to any electronics, is very good for cleaning like motherboards and stuff of that nature. 99.9% isopropyl alcohol works wonders. Anyway, I grabbed that. I grabbed a little soft bristle toothbrush, and then I just started cleaning the cartridge itself. After I finished cleaning it, I put it together. I put it back into the Game Boy, turned it on, and it worked. So all it was dirty or corroded a little bit, and we were fine. So it was smooth sailing from then. My game's totally fine now, and I'm pretty proud about that purchase. I got it below the market value at, what is market value? Is that just what it is up on the market currently? I think so. I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So yeah, I got it below market value, and I was happy. Next one I want to get is Pokemon, an authentic copy of it, and yeah, go from there. Sky's the limit, honestly. There's so many old games that I want to get. Also, Final Fantasy Tactics is another one I want to play. I played it very, very briefly way back when, and I remember enjoying it. And it's kind of got that same like turn-based kind of chess style gameplay like Fire Emblem does. So I'm sure I'll enjoy that one as well. Also, Advance Wars, same thing. I want to get that one. So it just kind of opened up this brand new world. Also, I just kind of like restoring things. It's fun. It's therapeutic. That's why I probably like making model kits. By the way, look at this one. If you're just listening to the audio, stop lagging and go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You'll get a notification once a week. Get to view the podcast. Check this out. This is my, what is it, RX-74 Gundam? Is that the one? Is that RX-78? Sorry. RX-78 2 Gundam. This is like the OG Gundam. I don't know if I showed it off or I talked about it last time, but it's really cool, man. I like making model kits. They're therapeutic and they look cool, man. I like Gundam. Gundam's sick. I still have to get into... I watched Hathaway, talked about that. I want to watch Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's another Gundam movie that... Apparently it's a series as well. It's a show. But... I want to watch the movie. The show, you can't find it anywhere. You can watch it on YouTube illegally or whatever, but... You can't, none of like Hulu doesn't have it, Crunchyroll doesn't have it, Netflix doesn't have it. All the usual suspects that have anime in it don't have the Thunderbolt series. And I don't know exactly what the timeline is, but there's a movie, and I'm pretty sure that what people are talking about is the movie, that the movie's really good. So I'm going to watch, I want to buy that one and watch it. I just like the mechs, man. If they do a good design, good job with the mechs, Hathaway just for some reason that one just it hit different for me. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it actually. But for me, like that one just hit like when the Gundams showed up, the Zaku and the gun. I think Zaku's were in there, and the Gundams showed up. Like it hit different, man. They weren't Zaku's. I lied. Zaku's like old school Gundam, right? Am I right? Because like I was watching the original series. That model kit I just showed you, that was from the original. That's the OG Gundam, and his enemies were the Zaku's, and then it was the what were they? The other one with like the horn. It's like a Zaku, but it has like a horn on the shoulder plate. I forgot. But anyway. Yeah, I think that's why I like model kits, because I like building things, restoring them, building them, whatever the case may be. We want to get a sound system too, actually. So my buddy has a pretty dope. Not gonna say who it is. Not gonna say where he lives. Right, confidentiality. He's got a pretty sweet like home theater, and it's really enjoyable to go to his place and watch movies. He recently did a little upgrade on it, and we watched the opening sequence of Saving Private Ryan, and it was something else, my friends. But I like, Courtney and I like watching movies here. We like to sit down once in a blue moon. Mainly it's because I always just sit down in here and then just play video games or something, or watch anime on my own. Gotta make sure it's still recording. Is it recording? Yeah, it's recording still. All right. But yeah, I think we want to get a little sound system, a little sound upgrade, if you will. And I want to get Hathaway after we get that sound upgrade, because I feel like it'll be so much better to watch it like that. And yeah, man. But like sound systems, we were at Best Buy today, and they're just freaking expensive, But you just got to do your research. Every time you go to an actual store like that, it's obviously going to be more expensive, because it's Best Buy, and it's a different environment. So I was looking online, came across a couple speakers or sound systems on Amazon. I was doing some research, and I found that the what was it called? It's got this really weird name. I have it on here. Let me look it up. Actually, I have it up here. I have it up. So there's a Klipsch, I believe. Klipsch Black Reference Theater Pack 5.1 surround sound system. Not too shabby, not cheap though, but it's like $360. So I mean, that might be it. It's got a good ratings and stuff. People say not to buy it on Amazon though, because it's not a authorized Klipsch seller or something like that, so there's no warranty for this, so the warranty is void or whatever. So if anything happens, like, you're screwed essentially. So I don't know about that. But then there's this other one, it's Polk Audio. This one has significantly more ratings. It's more expensive, but it also has the towers, the speaker towers, which I really like. I don't think this is a surround one. I think it's just home theater. I guess you can put those like bookshelf ones up as your surround, but I'm not sure. We might end up doing this one. I don't know. I got to do more research on it, but this one's like 500 G's. I'm just kidding. $500. So yeah, I mean, it's a good deal right now on Amazon. So hey, if you're listening to this and you're wanting a freaking new audio system, Polk Audio, tell them I sent you. You'll get the hookup. No, you won't. Don't do that. Don't sue me. But yeah, I think a nice sound upgrade is in order. I'm looking up here. I was like Prime Gaming. I'm not on Twitch. Oh, sorry. See, there I go again. Burping up a storm, my friends. It's a good thing that I have the notes written down here, because honestly, like, I do have things I like to talk about, but I forget them in the moment. in the moment that I want to talk about them, I always forget them. So yeah, talking about actually sound stuff in movies. Guys, something funny is happening with my camera right now. It just decided to be super weird. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, we're gonna take a quick intermission. All right, good thing I checked. Good thing I checked, cause it didn't cover anything of what I said. For those of you watching the video only, I continued the podcast for a while when the camera turned off. It actually wasn't a while. It was just my list of the films I watched. Right. So, just a quick recap. I've seen. I want to watch movies that are in the vicinity of Akira. Right. So, I want to watch Akira. I don't know if I should wait until after I read the mangas. I'm just gonna go ahead and watch it. Probably. Who's kidding who? I'm gonna do it, and I'll just freaking read the manga after. I want to watch Ghost in a Shell. Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm really dabbling with Neon Genesis Evangelion. If any one of you have seen that one, let me know. Let me know how it goes. Is it really that heartbreaking? I gotta know, because I've seen my fair share of sad animus, and I don't like them. I really don't like them. Well, it's... I don't know, man, because, I mean, there were good... Aldnoah Zero sucked, by the way. Aldnoah Zero, no, not a good one. At least first season. I don't watch second season because I didn't give it a chance, but Akame ga Kill was good, but it was really sad. Which other one did I say I watched was sad? Sword Art Online Season 2, like that second half of it, that was some sad stuff, man. Like, I don't like that one either. I don't like that one bit. But anyway, my camera did something funny, so I don't even know if I'm in the frame anymore. I hope I am. I don't think I moved it too much. Anyway, it doesn't matter if it is what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, but I want to watch those. I want to get, like, the animation of those works is really, really well done. I don't know why we don't see more of that kind of stuff now. Well, it's because, like, the day of CG, like, kind of shifted things. The tables had turned. So that's why Studio Ghibli kind of went under, right? Because 2D animation was kind of going under. So they didn't invest too much time and money into that stuff anymore, or that style of animation. But, like, there's a lot of us that would really appreciate a good quality, like, animated film, I think. I mean, take a look at, like, the Netflix original anime series that they're coming out with, all the time. Castlevania was really good. That animation was beautiful. That's what kept me around, honestly. The animation style, that one was really well done. There's a lot of them, actually. I don't know how many of them are actually, and what constitutes Netflix original? Is it just because they funded it, they produced it, or what exactly does that mean? Is that it? Is that why they're originals? Because they gave the money to make it? So did they source other, like, conventional studios to do this stuff, and they just paid them and then said, all right, this is going to be Netflix because we gave you the moolah? I don't know, man. I'm just curious as to which one of these, like, or how many of these original Netflix ones were by other studios previous to Netflix, if you catch my drift. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. I'm just curious. I'm just getting a nosebleed out of it. But yeah, I heard that Ghost in the Shell is also pretty sad. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I just got to grow up and watch them, I'll be the judge. Because if it's sad to one person, doesn't mean it's necessarily to another. I don't know. That's probably stretching it a little. People universally think something is sad, like, if it is, really, But anyway, here, I don't want to, like, linger too much on these topics. Yeah, because I think that's it. I think I'm going to keep it short and sweet for this episode as well. Um, if there's nothing there to it doesn't do any good, I don't think, to just ramble senselessly all the time. Sometimes it just kind of goes too off the rails, and it's not nice to hear. So I'm gonna end it right now. I'm gonna end it right here. I really appreciate all the love you guys have been sending this way. It's been really cool to see the community thrive. And if you guys want to hear anything or get in contact with me, Instagram's the best way to go. Send me a quick DM, say hi, say something that you thought was interesting that you might want to hear my thoughts on the podcast. It's all good and bueno over here. Stay tuned. Next week's episode, we're going to talk more focused on careers and hobbies and things like that, of that nature. Still just, my thoughts, but more focused on that. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode, and we'll catch you next time.